Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched Movie. I am Mike, and this is a review for Deadpool and Wolverine, which I will keep spoiler-free. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, stay off of all the online social media apps. Oh my god, it's everywhere. They're just spoiled. There was a Comic-Con thing last night. All the cameos came out. It's crazy. You just gotta stay off the internet. Throw yourself out of a window. Do whatever you gotta do. I don't know why you had to go out of the window, but get to the theater before you get online, or it's all just gonna be spoiled. But anyways, our spoiler review will be Tuesday night live. We will do a spoiler stream party where we can talk with you guys and we can all talk spoilers together. It's the best way to do spoilers, I promise. So if you haven't been to one of those, check us out Tuesday night, subscribe and all that crap so that you're here for it. So Deadpool and Wolverine, I've been saying this for months since this movie was announced, that this is a movie that could change everything. I think the world is so hurting for a squirtin' when it comes to just R-rated comedy and that's not afraid to, let shit fly. And also so ready for just an original Marvel story with big name characters. I think just the conditions are perfect for this movie to really change anything. And I think it's going to break box office records all over the place. I've been saying this for a while. I just think that the world sorely needed this, and this is going to be huge. That being said, every single movie is about expectations and what you want out of it. So from where I'm coming from, I haven't given a crap about the MCU in a while. I'll put it that way. And yet this is my most anticipated film of the year. So I was not going for that part of it. I haven't given a flippity fuck about what's going on with the MCU lately. So I went to see this movie because A, Deadpool and Wolverine as characters in the comic books and the movies are just top tier, holy shit package characters. Both Hugh Grant is really good in About a Boy in 9 months, but also I think Hugh Jackman is an amazing Wolverine, and him and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, they're just like Tony Stark is to Robert Downey Jr. I think they embody the character so much that they basically have blurred the lines between reality. Someone said the other day in a comment that made me laugh on the Hot Ones that they did that Deadpool's doing a really good job playing Ryan Reynolds. And that's, at this point, that's what it feels like. I mean, they are those characters. This is the kind of team up I would have wanted as a kid reading comic books, not because it tested well in some focus group. Like, this really works. And it's what the kid in us would have wanted back then. So that's why I went to go see this movie as someone who is superhero fatigued as fuck. And that being said, I adored it and I got everything I wanted out of it. And I absolutely love this movie. It's the kind of movie that when you leave, at least in my world, I cannot wait. I can't stop thinking about it. I cannot wait to go to the theater and see it again. It's special. It's everything I hoped it would be. I'll just get out of the way right now. The movie's a 10 for me. It is a 10, Billy Bob. A fucking 10. And here's why. First off, the comedy of it. It was everything I wanted with the comedy. There were so many gut laughs from the opening credits to the last scene. Like, I'm talking bent over, gut, can't breathe laughs, at least for me. And you guys know my humor if you watch this show. I love the dirty jokes. I love that. That's all there. The meta shit, the fourth wall breaks, the 90s jokes, everything that you've come to expect from the other two Deadpool movies is 110% on display here. Whatever you got in the trailer as far as those two go, I promise you it's 110% even more so between both the fighting and the dialogue between the two of them and the jokes and the chemistry and all that. Even some serious stuff in there from time to time is absolutely perfect. It's everything I wanted. And the serious stuff, speaking of which, by the end of this movie, I was actually exhausted when it was over with, because from laughing that hard and also having it kick me in my emotional nutsack throughout the film, from what Wolverine's going through, and also I really love Deadpool's motivations and stuff in this movie and where he's at mentally and like the journey that he's on. I thought it was really cool how they did that. And this is something that a lot of people are poo-pooing the movie for, saying that, oh, it has no plot, it's just a bunch of cameos. And these are people who don't understand that not every single movie plot has to revolve around a sky beam downtown threatening to end the world. There is a story here. It's not your typical average formulaic Marvel story. The story here is what the characters are going through emotionally and where they end up at. It's building more around these characters that we know and love, and either leaving them better off than we found them or giving them a capper to their stories. I won't say which it is because that would be a spoiler for sure, but it's about their story and where they are to where they end up. It's a movie. Like, I really don't get this, oh, it doesn't have a plot. Like, it doesn't have your typical superhero plot. No. That aside, speaking of the cameos, you do get them. They're crazy. They're not the type of cameos that you may be thinking that they are. And I love that about the film. And I put this on Twitter. I think this is the best way to put it. If the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Toy Story and Andy's room, then this movie is kind of like Sid's room next door after the family took a trip to Goodwill and all the toys got in the liquor cabinet. That's what Deadpool and Wolverine feels like. It feels different, but the same. The action and the superhero stuff is there, but it feels, along with the cameos, it feels more like reading a 90s X-Men comic book when I was being neglected by my parents in a field somewhere in bumfuck Virginia, just sitting there with a 7-Eleven Slurpee, just enjoying the hell out of what I was reading. Is it sort of kind of cheesy? Yeah, but it's also meant to be, and it's also funny in its own way. I know that was extremely specific, but that's what the action in this feels like. It's not perfect. There's CG issues. Again, there's little cheesy moments and stuff like that from time to time. It's not perfect if that's what you're looking for, but it is fun. And man, did it bring out the kid in me watching those team ups and those fight sequences and stuff like that, and the one-on-ones and then this and that. But when I hear people saying, oh my gosh, it's a bunch of fan service, I'm thinking back to when they try to like really build it up like, oh, look how special this is in the other MCU movies and make it all fancy. I don't think this is team service as much as it is just them having a bunch of fucking fun with the toys that they have at their disposal. It doesn't feel like they're doing this to get a specific, again, focus group reaction. The team ups and the fan service in this feel like they're going, hey, if you were a kid, wouldn't you love to see this shit? Watch this. Now back to our hero's plight and some super serious shit and some great comedy too. I think the movie has it all. It's just people aren't used to something that is just this irreverent, in my opinion. And there's just something about the imperfectness of it that's also freeing. I mean, it's like buying a brand name shirt at Marshall's for $8.99. Is one sleeve an inch shorter than the other one? Sure, but who gives a fuck? What are you, the shirt police? And again, on the emotional part, we're talking about two characters who carry so much emotional baggage with them, not just in the movies, but in the comic books as well, and their backstories. I mean, what these two have been through would make Laurie Strode and all of her trauma feel about as scary as a hug from Paul Rudd. Deadpool looking for purpose and Wolverine looking for redemption. I loved it. It's like the old Wayne's World ads, like you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl. But the movie as a whole just feels absolutely perfect to me as someone who's sick of the MCU and the formulaic stuff and the way the MCU's been since Endgame. And I mean, this movie goes there with certain comments about stuff like that. I'm shocked. And, you know, credit to Paul Feige and Marvel. Honest to God, I didn't think they'd have the balls to do this. And again, I hope, and I think it will, I hope that this changes things. And it makes the MCU and other companies like this realize that not only are a lot of the fans here fans because we were so into that world and the X-Men animated series and the comic books and stuff in the 90s that are now grown adults who can appreciate more adult content, but also that the kids that enjoy that now are also capable of enjoying that kind of content. Like, I'm not saying everything has to be rated R, but stuff that should be rated R should be rated R. Those kids are going to find a way to see that movie. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. And I hope that this proves that case, if that makes sense. It's a 10 out of 10, no fucking notes. Go see this movie. You'll want to see it 2 and 3 and 4 times, at least I did. So but if you're looking for, no, I need to know what's going on in the MCU and what's going on with this and that, like, you're probably in the wrong movie. This is a movie that's for itself, just trying to have a good time, having a fucking blasty blast in the pantaloons, and it succeeds mightily in that. Yeah, I loved it. Go see it. I love your all's fucking faces. We'll see you Tuesday night. Actually, we'll see you Saturday night. We got a live stream on Saturday night during Hall H. Comic-Con is happening Saturday night, and we will be live tomorrow night, July the 27th at 8 p.m. We're going to be live while Comic-Con Hall H is going on and Marvel announces their new plans or whatever they're going to do, so we can all talk about that together. See you guys tomorrow night. Love your fucking faces. See you Tuesday for the spoiler review. Suck it.
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said got it.